Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a MrBeast Burger for all of your city building needs. Here is the amount of space required to make your MrBeast Burger, a 26 by 24 block area as represented by the white concrete grid on the ground, which you are more than welcome to make if you do feel as though it will help you plan out your build. Here are all of the materials that we will be using throughout the build. Please do make sure that you have access to all those materials and enough of them as well. And now that we have all of our stuff, we can get started. So step 1, come all the way over to the front left hand corner of your grid, if you've made it, and count to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then inwards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Start off by placing a row of 6 bricks going right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Place a white concrete on the end. Leave a gap of 2 or destroy a row of 2 in the ground and replace those with quartz bricks. And then on the opposite side of the bricks, place another white concrete, 6 more brick blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now we can start building backwards. So build backwards by 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then simply across the back of the build and connect it all the way to the front. Now, I overshot it a little bit, but that doesn't matter. So now that we have our basic shape of the Beast Burger, what we now want to do is we want to start adding some details. So we're going to begin by taking the 2 white concretes that we have and raising them up by 3. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. We can join them together at the top like this. Place red concrete in front of them. Extend the red concrete left and right by 3. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. We also want to extend the white concrete at the top of the door all the way around the build, and we want the white concrete row to run parallel to the row of bricks that we have just below us. So it wants to end up looking a little something like this. Perfect. So you can see where all of the walls are going to go now. So what we can also do is place upside down smooth quartz stairs around the edge of the white concrete that we've placed. We want to make the roof look a little bit more interesting, and this is exactly how we're going to do it. So just like this. And then we're going to place smooth quartz slabs in front of the top half of these stairs. So we won't get the full effect of these stairs that we placed, but it just helps us get to this point where it just makes it look a little bit more interesting. Like if we have a look from below, that looks pretty cool. What we now have to do is we have to take that row of slabs that we placed, and if we start all the way over here on the left, and we place a row of 4 light blue concrete going right, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then a row of 4 pink, 1, 2, 3, 4. Blue, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then pink, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then blue, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is what we want to have. And this pattern wants to persist all the way around the build. So for instance, on this right side here, we want to take this block and we want to have rows of 4 pink concrete, followed by rows of 4 blue concrete, and pink and blue and pink. You guys get the idea, and it kind of just wants to go all the way around the edge of the build like this. And it's just easier if we just get this done. Perfect. And it just makes that, like, it just looks cool. Like, I really like the amount of depth with this build. And whilst we are at it, we can probably fill the top of the build. No. First, let's destroy the floor inside of the build. So I'm using quartz bricks because, I don't know, I guess I'm just on a quartz of bricks kick for this, for like fast food restaurants and shops and stuff. So I'm using quartz bricks. Feel free to change it up a little bit. I don't know why, it just seems like the perfect material to me. Like, I used to just use quartz for everything, or even oak planks. It really doesn't matter. You can use what you like, but quartz bricks is kind of like my new flavor of the month. So planks are always good though, especially if you're going for a homey sort of vibe. Definitely a bit warmer than the quartz bricks, but it just feels lighter, brighter, and I like the texture of them as well. So it's a texture that I don't particularly get tired of versus oak planks, which, I mean, I guess it's because they've been around so long, maybe that's the problem, but regardless, this is what we want to have. Anyway, we're going to fill the entire top of the building using white concrete, hence the reason that I kind of just wanted to get that done right there whilst we could actually still see things relatively well. So all we're going to do is literally, just like this, fill the entire top of this in using white concrete. We're going to be applying some detail to the roof later on, but we need so many different materials for the outside that we'll just have to grab those in a little bit. So once this is all filled in, things do get a little bit more complex with the materials that we have though. So for instance, once the entire top of the build has been filled in like that, we want to come back to the front of the build where we have this middle row of blue concrete, extend it towards you, just the entire row of 4, and then extend it to the left by 1 and right by 1. Extend it upwards and then backwards. Easy, just like that. We now want to apply a row of smooth quartz slabs on top of the outer row of white concrete that we placed. So once again, always adding depth, always adding shape, always trying to, at the very least, make it look a little bit more interesting and a little less flat. So there we go, that's looking pretty good. We're building up these layers nicely. So the next thing that we are going to do, because we don't have what we need just yet, we are going to start building in some of the window areas. So with the front left hand corner of the build here, I'm going to place a row of connecting light grey concrete that just goes from the bottom to the top. Leave a gap of 2 and then do the same thing. We want to have 2x2 windows on the left and right side of the build. Or rather, well yeah, on the front of the build, but the front left and front right. You see, it's a little bit different on the back, which is why I just had to make that little difference there. So on the sides, the left and right sides, that little distinction was the word that I was looking for. See, on the right side and the left, we also want to have the corner row of light grey concrete that connects things together. However, we want to have a gap of 2 and we want to connect the bottom and the top together again on the left and right, and then that's it. On this particular side, meaning the right, you can actually fill in the middle section, the left side of it, using pink concrete, and you can then leave this part open. The right side here, we are going to make light blue concrete. Across the back of the build, we simply just have rows of 2 marked out. So this is pretty much the same as the front. On the back, it is pretty much the same as the front. And we just want to have coloured panels on the back. So what that works out to be is like pink on the outsides, slowly coming back towards it as well. So we want to have like pink, blue, and then pink in between the windows, and then blue, and then pink. So just like this, keeping to the colour scheme. And it actually sort of like lines up with the roof as well, which is quite satisfying. On this side of the build, once again, we're going to have, it's the same as the opposite side of the build. So we want to have the 2 split with the windows. And then if you want, you can actually fill this middle section in, say, with pink. And then we can just have windows on this side. Those can actually be open. And we're getting to the point here where it's time for us to swap out materials a little bit. So let's do exactly that. So let's grab some pink stained glass block, some pink stained glass pane, some light blue glass pane, crimson doors, smooth stone, grey concrete. I'm using flowered azalea leaves and also azure bluettes. But you can use any leaves. I'm just a fan of the new blocks. I just want to try them out a little bit. So Where the doorway is, this is the double door with the 2 parallel rows of white concrete. We want to have 2 crimson doors. Not my favourite texture, but they do the job, with pink glass above them. Obviously, if you wanted to use warped doors and blue glass, then, you know, feel free. But the point of it is that we then want to have alternating blue and pink windows on the left and right side. So again, it's basically, you see on the back where we have like the blue and the pink, it's the exact same color scheme. So we want to have this on the front, and then on the side we'll just have 2 blue windows because we have the pink in the middle. I'm just trying to keep a nice balance between the blue and the pink because I do really quite like it. So on the side it would be blue. And if you wanted to, you could even make it so that the drive-through window, well, let's cover up this side. So the drive-through window can even have a little bit of pink in it as well. So there is an eating area outside of Beast Burger. I'm calling it Beast Burger. I'm pretty sure it's like MrBeast Burger. I don't know what to call this exactly. I guess it is MrBeast Burger, but Beast Burger kind of rolls off the tongue. So in front of this, we want to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, if you haven't made the grid. 7 entire rows of stone, smooth stone specifically, in front of Beast Burger. So we're going to dig all of this out. Smooth stone. Feel free to change it. I am slowly coming around to diorite. Slowly. I think it could look sort of cool. It's got an interesting texture. And again, you know what? It might just be that I've used smooth stone so much that I'm just looking for alternatives. That might be the problem. There's no good alternative to smooth stone, I don't think, unfortunately. It is the perfect pavement / sidewalk material. I don't know if there could ever be a better one. Okay, going all the way around the outside of Beast Burger, we need 3 entire unbroken rows of grey concrete. This is just regular old grey concrete. The reason being is because this is also a drive-through, so I just wanted to, well, I shouldn't have destroyed those blocks. We can just place those underneath, it's okay. So around the 3 rows of the road that we are essentially making, we are going to have a little bit of hedge, and then behind that we're going to have a row of terracotta wall. Actually, I think it's 2 rows of terracotta wall, but that's inconsequential, it doesn't really matter. And it's just going to look quite nice. It's going to kind of like, I don't know how to describe, like, it's kind of going to stand by itself the way that I'm making it. Of course, if you wanted to blend this into more of a city environment in which you didn't have roads, then that would be perfectly fine as well. You don't have to have the drive-through and such. And if you weren't planning on making this with a drive-through, then this is going to be a completely irrelevant part of the tutorial. So, there we go. You can see it connects to this insanely long road that I have for my city. And I want the leaves to, we'll just start off with azalea leaves. I want the leaves to pretty much go around, like I want it to start where the left and right side of the restaurant is. Like this, right? And then I'm just going to knock out some of the leaves. Just almost randomly, I'm going to try, and meanwhile, I'm finding that I'm not doing this randomly at all. I'm kind of like doing it in like rows of 2. And then 1, like I've sort of already made a pattern to it. It doesn't matter, but I don't want it to look too man-made, if that makes sense. Like, I want it to look a little bit random, although it is very, very minute. It doesn't even matter too much, but, you know. So, the next thing that I want to do is in front of where we placed the leaves, on the left and right sides of the restaurant, I want to have flowers. That's all there is to it. I just want to extend them outwards. I'm using white just to break up the pink and the blue a little bit, but it's up to you. You can use pink and blue flowers if you like, if you want to further exasperate what we've already got going on. So the next thing, yeah, the grass block shouldn't be here. Whatever, it can stay in the inventory. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to grab the terracotta, crimson stairs, warped stairs, iron trapdoors, crimson fence, warped fence, crimson trapdoor, warped trapdoor, and any blackstone wall will do. So the black stone wall is quite simply front left hand corner of the restaurant. We're going to turn it into kind of like a speaker box. So what we're going to do now, I guess we should finish the wall area. So the wall area, it just goes all the way around what we've just made, essentially. So just 2 rows of terracotta all the way around this. Here. And then another row. I just like 2 rows because I just don't want it to sit behind the leaves just at the same plane, because it just looks a bit boring. So I'm just going to have this. And this is what I mean, it's kind of like a self-contained area. I quite like it like this. We can now get rid of the terracotta and the polished brick wall, and we can grab light blue concrete and pink concrete. Now these are important because they're going to be for the middle of the tables. The middle of the tables are quite easy to make. We basically come between this middle split here where we have the windows and the end of the red concrete, and we leave a gap of 1, 2, and on this third block I'm going to place a pink concrete, I do believe. Or maybe, actually no, you leave a gap of 3 right in the middle, and then it's right in the middle of what I'll call the patio. And then we want to have the same thing on the right side. Then, on top of the pink one, I'm going to have 2 warped fence, my bad, with a warp trapdoor on top. Again, my bad. And then on the right side here, 2 crimson fence with a crimson trapdoor on top, like this. So what we can then do is, and this works in Java, and I'm afraid that it might not work, gotta crouch, and it might not work in Bedrock, which is where we're building now. I'm hoping that we can place stuff on top of trapdoors because I like this as a table idea. It's just a little bit different. We're basically placing iron trapdoors all the way around the tops of the concretes that we placed. And hopefully we will be able to place item frames and pots on top of them. I can't remember because the 2 versions are so different. So on the left side here, we are going to have, what will we have? Shall we have, we'll have red seats. So I'm going to have 4 chairs all the way around the edge of the table. They can be placed evenly right in the middle, or if you want you could place like a double seat, 1 on the end, 1 kind of off center. It doesn't really matter. It's kind of up to you how you want to do it. And now we are at the point, believe it or not, where we need to have a materials change. So we are going to get rid of all of this stuff, some of which we will probably need again. And just to make it easy for me, we are now going to be using all of these materials that you can see on the screen right now. Once you have all of those materials, just like me, you will be able to progress onto the next part. First of all, we're going to be using our note blocks. Well, note block. We only want 1 of them, and we want to place it here where we have the black stone wall. Then, we want to place flower pots on the tables, and we also want to place some item frames. I'm trying to do it in kind of like a random configuration, and of course those are basically just like plates and cups, and I mean you could even fill these with different food items to, well, represent food. So we then want to place some banners, because these things in the middle of the table are parasols. I'm using the same coloured banners as the fence, so where we, well, sort of the same. So where we have the warped fence, I'm using blue banners, and I'm placing all the way around the top of the fence, and where we have the crimson fence, I'm going to use the pink banners, just like this. So, perfect. It's looking a lot more lively out here now. The next thing that we're going to do is head to the roof. On the left and right sides, we want to have a configuration of daylight sensors. In the front left hand corner of the roof here, I want to move inwards diagonally, 1, 2, daylight sensor. Extend right 2, and do the same thing on the opposite side. You can follow along to the right as long as you leave a gap of 2. And all of these daylight sensors want to get extended towards the back, just making sure that we leave a gap of 2, and we can fill the middles of these in as well. So just like this. Extend all of these back, leave a gap of 2, just like this, easy peasy. We also want to grab rails, and in between the daylight sensors, we want to have 2 rails on the ends, so like on the front and the back ends. And we want to turn them into circles, just like this. We then want to leave a gap of, I do believe 2, so like 1 to... Actually, no, it's just a gap of 1. And then we want to have 4 rails. So it ends up looking just like 4 circles like this. It kind of reminds me of that really, really old game Pong, but with more balls for some reason. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. So now that we've done that, it's time for us to start making banners. There's a lot of banners. The first one that we're going to make, we'll make the first unique set of banners. We need to make the actual sign. So we're going to be we're going to be writing the word free at the top of the restaurant. So it's going to be using blue banners and white dye. And the first letter is of course F. So a horizontal row of white across the top, through the middle, and down the left side will give us F. Next would be R. So vertical row on the left, horizontal along the top, diagonal row top left corner to bottom right. Now luckily we can double dip using this next banner. We're making, oops, my bad. We're making E, so vertical row on the left, horizontal on the top, bottom, and through the middle. Boom, there you go. So there we have FRE. But if we leave a gap of 1, F-R-E-E, boom, perfect, free, excellent. I figured that writing MrBeast Burger was going to be a little too egregious, so... the next thing that we can do, and you can do this in either colour, to be honest with you, like you could use pink or you can use blue for this. And we're going to be making, it's kind of, like you gotta use a little bit of imagination, but you guys know, I'm sure what MrBeast's like avatar is, kind of like that wolfy sort of like, whatever that thing's supposed to be. I'm sure that you guys know what I'm talking about. And, we're not going to make that just yet, actually, because we would require some different materials. We might just do that at the end. But we can make the lightning bolts. So we need white banners. I'm just going to throw one in here. And we have white banners. And if you want to make a pink banner, then use pink. And if you want to make a blue banner, use blue. Let's do pink. So to start off with, we're going to do a border, which is perfect because that's the first pattern. So a border of pink. Then we're going to do the top right-hand corner pattern in the banner. And then the opposite, bottom left corner. And, well, there you go. There's your lightning bolt. And if you want the same thing, get rid of the pink, put the blue in, start with the border. I mean, this might be better than the wolf banners, to be honest with you, because the wolf banner, it sort of doesn't look that much like a wolf. Anyway, so we've already applied the border, and then it's literally just top right corner, bottom left corner. Boom, there you go. And we can dot these all about the place, really. So, like, we could put one here. We could put one here. I'm trying to mix the colours, if you can't tell, so like here and here. Like, it just looks sort of cool. I like that position a bit better, I think. Yeah, there we go, perfect. So yeah, I think that looks pretty cool, and yeah, I'm quite happy with that. So the next set of banners that we're going to make are going to actually be burgers, and if we... yeah, okay, yeah, so for the burger banner, we want to start off, slowly stalling, we want to start off with a green banner, just a good old regular green banner. And then we're going to use red dye, and we're going to make the top half of the banner red. Grab that, put that back in, throw the red dye out. Brown in the middle, like this. Grab that, throw that back in. Get rid of the brown dye, throw orange or yellow dye, but I like orange better. And I want to make not the top half, but the top third of the banner orange. And the top and the bottom third of the banner orange also. And this is a burger banner. I mean, you gotta use a little bit of imagination, just as with everything in Minecraft, but you can dot these all about the place if you like. So you can place them in the windows, and you can place them all the way around if you like. You know, you can really decorate it with banners. Not 100% necessary, you kind of use them to your own sort of discretion, but I think that it really, I think that the banners really do kind of just help emphasize what this place is about. Free. So, now that we've done all of this, we're going to head inside now. I don't think we need any of these materials again. I'm probably going to be wrong, but, you know, it wouldn't be the first time that I'm wrong, you know, it'd only be the 5 millionth time, so that's perfectly okay. So, what we're going to be doing in here, first of all, we're going to be grabbing light blue concrete, pink concrete, light grey concrete, did I say that already? Crimson stairs, warped stairs, and we'll just leave it at that for now. So I want to set out some of the seating arrangements. So on the front left-hand corner of the place, I want to place 2 crimson stairs with 2 rows of light blue concrete in front of them, and then another pair of crimson stairs. Then leaving a gap of 2, I want to have the same thing, except I want to use warped stairs with pink in between. And of course these are just tables. And to decorate the tables, kind of the same old flower pots, item frames, and yellow and red candles. Why? Because we can use item frames and flower pots, and we can use candles to look like plates, cups, mustard, ketchup. And these can be used differently, of course. We don't have to have the same configuration on every single table, but I do think that it looks pretty good. What else can we do? Well, we need to have also, let's use the light grey concrete next, actually. So light grey concrete, I want to extend where we have the glass of the drive-through window across using a row of light grey concrete, and it's going to line up with the left side of the door entrance here. So left side as in we're looking in, but you guys get the idea. You want to be 3 rows away from the tables, however it helps to imagine that. We then want to leave a gap of 1, and then we want to have a row of 3 light grey concrete extending towards the back. Across the back, a row of 3, 1, 2, 3 light grey concrete, gap of 2, another light grey concrete, just like this. Now, we're going to use smooth quartz stairs, sea lanterns, paintings, and we're going to place a couple of smooth quartz stairs along the empty counter space here. You can even place, on the sides maybe, just like a yellow candle and a red candle. Oh, there's also a table as well. There's a table just like in the front right hand corner. This is like another crimson stairs. So crimson stairs, gap of 2, crimson stairs, and then we would need to grab the light blue to put in between, and we want to decorate this whilst we have it as well. So we'll put ketchup on this one. So, you know, just trying to vary the tables a little bit. In front of this area, I need pink concrete and glass pane, or blue concrete, but the point is that we kind of want to create just like a little, I'll use blue, I just want to create like a little area that we just like walk, you know, it's just kind of like a divider for people that are ordering stuff, and that's all there is to it, so like just kind of like keeping things separate a little bit. The next thing that we are going to do is let's grab the sea lanterns just to provide a little bit of light. I want sea lanterns in a few different places, but the main points are on the left and right sides of the door where we have the white concrete. I want to line them up with the light grey concretes that we have in the like creases of the windows, and I just want to have sea lanterns dispersed into the ceiling like this, like so that they're kind of just evenly placed, and you'll find that it kind of like lights the place up rather nicely. The paintings that I'm going to grab paintings, and I'm going to grab all of the banners that we've used, so like the burger banners and the 2 lightning bolts, and I'm kind of just going to disperse these around the inside of the store a little bit, so like maybe like a couple of burger banners here, and then a couple of lightning bolts here. Probably a better way to disperse them. I'll try and like, let's say, do this. There we go, better. And I want contrasting colours, of course, and then across the back here, I mean, we could even, the reason that I grabbed the paintings is maybe just to, like, you know, just to kind of like change things up a little bit. So just to add a couple of paintings, just to, but probably not those ones, but just to add a couple of paintings just to kind of like vary things a little bit. Like this. I just want stuff on the walls. I just want it to look interesting, and I think that we're kind of achieving this effect because it's quite a small place. There's not too much on the floor, that we're not taking too much space up with you know, actual tables and stuff, so I figured it might be a good idea just to kind of like, you know, have things look nice and bright and interesting. So we're coming to the point where we just need a few different materials to finish this off. So those are going to be all of these materials that you see on the screen right now. There might be some repeats, there might not be some repeats. We'll see what happens. But make sure that you've got all of that, and then we can continue on to the final stage. So the first thing that we're going to do, which we should probably have done a long time ago, is we are going to fill the ceiling in using white concrete. So this is, of course, going to... We're basically just already connecting the pre-existing row of white concrete that we placed earlier for the roof, and we're just joining it all together. The reason that I want to drop the roof is just to make it a little bit cozier in here. I'm quite happy myself with about 3 rows above my head. Or 3 rows in total. 3 rows above my head, I guess, would technically be, you know, a bit taller, since, you know, it'd probably be about 5 rows in total. But I'm very happy with just like 3 rows of space just in one of these places, and it feels like the perfect amount. Like 2 is obviously too small, and 4 just seems like it's too huge. So I think that this kind of just condenses the area into just something. I mean, does that not feel better? I mean, or at least it does to me. Anyway, the carpets are to be placed, the pink and the light blue carpet are to be placed next to the tills. We can place some flower pots around as well for decoration. The brewing stands are for drinks machines, so these are basically just placing these on the back in front of the pink with tripwire hooks above them. And again, we can place some more flower pots either side if you think it'll make it look a bit better. A fridge / freezer directly to the right in between the 2 rows of grey with iron bars in the middle. And then on the right here, a couple of blast furnaces with smooth quartz stairs, detector rails, and I've grabbed some like bread and some chicken and stuff just to fill some of the item frames. But the smooth quartz stairs are to go above the furnaces, detector rails on top, and then just left here. I mean, we don't have to fill that space up if we don't want to. I mean, we can just have a little empty space, you know. And then, like I said, like some of these plates, I mean, I'm not going to go too crazy, but chicken might be a bit of a stretch. I don't know what they sell at these places, I'm going to be honest with you. I think that we only just got a few MrBeast burgers in the UK very recently, so but I'm going to basically just throw some bread and some beef out. Beef for beef burgers, and bread sort of looks like a burger of some sort, and sort of. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. It feels nice. Obviously, it could stand to have a bit more detail, but I wanted to keep it nice and simple. This is vaguely based off of the actual MrBeast Burger video, so it's you know, it's similar-ish to that, and I didn't want to complicate the design too much. But that's it, and we finished. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. If you have, please do remember to hit that like button, as it helps me and the channel out very much. If you're new around here, please do consider subscribing and clicking that little bell next to the subscription button. That'll ensure that you get all my videos sent directly to your sub box. And if you do want to make anything else by me, I would highly recommend the City Builds playlist. Available everywhere. Cards, description below, top of the comment section, absolutely everywhere. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I love you all very much. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.